Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm back. I saved the creamer swirl for you guys. Here it goes. Not too crazy today because it's like chocolate based. I haven't been able to find the maple stuff in a while. Good morning, Lockwatcher, if you're still here. Good morning, ITT, and good morning, Gerald. How's everyone doing? How is everybody? Good to see y'all pretty faces. Y'all's pretty faces? I don't know. I don't speak American, but I'm trying here. How's everyone doing? The new job is very interesting. It is the only thing, the big thing that's messing with me with the new job is the hours. So it's like 8 hours a day, but it's the start and finish time that are not well aligned with my body, I guess. And so it's that part is very, very rough on me. And you know, it's a new job, so you know there's the normal jitters that you get when you start a new job. Especially for me, I'm the kind of guy that wants to do a good job. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't want to be the employee who is slacking. So it's also a very informal workspace. They're kind of like always figuring it out. You can't do two jobs and stream at the same time. Yes, I can and I will. That's actually brings me to the goal is to start doing these morning streams, but maybe just an hour or two. I need to work on the YouTube channel. So yeah, I do have time to stream in the morning because the hours are so weird. So I intend, maybe not 5 days a week, right? But I intend a couple days a week to stream in the mornings before work. Yeah, 8 hours per day is the normal time. Do you have a bug on the internet? Yes, Franco on Saturday, how you're doing. Oh, interesting. I also saw that Franco posted like a question on the comments of this channel yesterday asking how the new job is and whatever, and here I am. I just happened to, yesterday I went fishing with my father, and today I have off from my mechanics job because my mechanics boss is on vacation. And he's like, I can book you work. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. I was like, don't worry about it. It's fine. We're good. And yes, 8 hours per day is the normal amount of time for a shift. It's just the start time and the end time is hard on my body because I'm not used to those kind of hours. It starts later in the morning and it finishes later in the evening. And since I don't have access to like food like I normally have, everything is weird. Yeah, boat pressure. Yeah, I did go fishing yesterday. It was nice. Bass season is now open. I caught, thought I would have more teeth marks on my thumb. I caught quite a few bass. My old man caught some bass. I caught a couple pike, 3 of them, which is weird for me. So yeah, all interesting stuff. I guess let's go over some of the stuff that's come in the mail. 5 days a week. So 5 days a week at the new job, 1 to 2 or 1 day a week at the mechanics job. So I'm working 6 days a week. I would love to tell you how it feels to have more income coming in, but because I'm not doing YouTube, the income is not that big, right? I won some, I lost some. Email did not want to bother you. I mean, I don't get bothered by emails. I just ignore emails. If I don't have the mental bandwidth to respond, I don't respond. So you guys can email me. That's fine. You guys are all good. Okay, so place in either New Brunswick or Nova Scotia. I should stop the mechanic at some point. Maybe. We'll see. Place in Nova Scotia or New Brunswick, I'm not sure. Maritimes, east coast of Ottawa. Sorry, east coast. What am I saying? Hang on a sec, guys. I didn't sleep very well last night. I mean, it's just my regular insomnia shit going on. East coast of Canada. There is a company that sells devices based on single board computers, SBCs. Is it fun? It's about 10% of what I do at the new job is fun. %10 is fun. 80% is fine, and 10% is very stressful. How's that sound? Anyways, place at East Coast Canada. They sell single board computer based products. What they have been using for their single board computers is this. I don't know if you can see, RockPi 4 Plus. So this is probably equivalent to, let's find out actually. Let's find out. Let's find out here. Let's go back to the old friend. RockPi 4 Plus. Plus. How powerful is it in terms of Raspberry Pi? Repairing things can rapidly be repetitive. Well, see, the thing is, when I'm at my workbench here, I just fix whatever I want. I just order parts from AliExpress. The new job, I mean, I don't think my salary is great, but I had a frank talk with the owner, and the owner says, in the next couple of years, I will be able to achieve my salary goals. So to me, that says that there's massive room for salary increase, which is good. And what was I getting at? Yeah. So here, I just fix whatever I want. I have like, fractional pennies worth of components that I can put on a board. At the job I'm working on, the boss has to cover my salary, the other employee's salary, the equipment, the rent on the building, they have a lot of overhead. So even though I can diagnose a laptop, find a blown capacitor, and fix the blown capacitor, it doesn't quite like the economics are very, very different. If I find a blown capacitor, I can't charge $1 to replace it for the customer. It's on the order of, well, it depends how complex the job is, right? How many tools we need to use, how much expertise is required. So I feel bad replacing, you know, a quarter penny worth of capacitor for triple digits. But on the other side, who else could repair it for that price? Like nobody. So anyways, okay, RK 3399 processor, hex core, chip. Okay, Raspberry Pi 4. Raspberry Pi 4. So Rock Pi 4 Plus is more in the Raspberry Pi 4 area. ITT, you know what? It hasn't, I've been adapting very quickly. Turns out when you have previous skills in diagnostics, it seems like I'm adapting well on that side. I don't know if Bossman will realize it because he is not into diagnostics. That's not his forte. But I have been working, I'm trying to skirt around a little bit because I did sign an NDA and stuff, and there is like customer privacy stuff I just don't want to run afoul of. But like, I just diagnosed something this weekend that was much more challenging than a laptop, but I got it narrowed down, which is pretty cool. When you build a prop, maybe 6 machine. Yes, yeah, exactly. And honestly, Lockwatcher at my workplace, $3,000 is kind of chump change. We've got a lot of equipment. So anyways, as I was getting at, this is SBC from a company in the Maritimes. They make products on SBCs. This is the Rock Pi 4 Plus. They have been switching to a different platform. They didn't say what, but they have been selling all of their used SBCs for a really good price. So I think I paid $60 for 2 of these. So it's a really good deal. They're used, but they're just sitting there doing nothing. They have eMMC. I believe that's eMMC on board. This looks like RAM. And there's your chip. They've got a PCIe slot here. Comes off this way, SD card. But the eMMC should have a program on it already. So it seemed like a no-brainer. And so I bought 2. Probably should have bought more. But let's not be greedy. Also, I didn't know how many they had in stock. It seems like they may have had thousands. So, yeah. Yeah, 1 big heatsink. Yeah, I had to pay extra for the heatsink. There's also a wireless antenna that goes here and I didn't realize that you needed it, and they're $1 from the site because they're used, and I didn't add it to cart, and now I'm gonna have to pay $5 for the antennae, which is a little bit frustrating, but whatever, it is what it is. I also, you know, I paid shipping, so I don't want to pay shipping again. So yeah, here we go. So I got 2 of these. Pretty heavy heat sink, pretty nice. Bought it from a Canadian company, which is very nice. So that's good. I'm gonna do some projects. So now I have this thing, right? Hey, how's it going? I am Thompson. Right now we are faffing around. I don't know how much serious work we're gonna get done today. But for the most part, we're probably going to be working on YouTube videos. Just maybe not like in the next hour. Yeah, really good price for the Pi. I checked online, and they're like on AliExpress. These are $100. Are you making a Raspberry Pi? No, I'm not. Yeah, last stream was like a month ago. So yes, now I have interesting challenges. So my workplace, my new workplace, is like a traditional workplace. Especially because I have the YouTube channel, we had to make an agreement that I wouldn't use any of their equipment for personal projects without asking permission, which is boilerplate. I understand, it's perfectly fine. And I especially would not use any of their equipment for things that are paid projects, right? That is fair. That is very fair. I agree to that. However, that means that on my lunch break, on my breaks and stuff, I need a way to work on my home stuff from work. So my idea is to have like a Raspberry Pi type project act as a broker where I can send it text messages or something like that. I don't know if you guys heard of OpenClaw. So OpenClaw is a way to have like AI integrated into like a messaging service. And so the idea is I'll probably have something like these Pis running here at home, and I will send it texts like when I have video ideas. I'm going to send it a text to tell it like, oh, remind me to do this or whatever. You know, stuff like that. I cannot film in the workplace. Amazon canceled the new Stargate. Actually, yeah, I heard about that. That's pretty crazy. Loaded BBS at the speed of reading. Yeah. Your old Raspberry Pi 4B out. Excuse me. Actually run Ollama. Yeah, absolutely you can. So yeah, no filming at work. No, definitely not. The thing is that the NDA I signed with the company is very aggressive, like extremely aggressive, like to the point where I don't think they consulted a lawyer. I think what they did was they found forms, and I think the forms are more applicable in the US. But anyways, it essentially says I can't share any of the processes I learn at the shop here on YouTube. Now, I'm telling you now, those are not going to be enforceable. You see a clean, yeah, I know, I see that. Cleaned coffee cup. That's because I realized I applied to like 40 jobs and I was sending them to my channel as a reference, and then I'd have like a nasty ass coffee cup. That's possible, ITT. I believe it. So, I don't think most of that is enforceable in court. But what I am doing is I am moving forward in good faith. So I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to start doing repair videos on the kind of stuff that I'm doing at work until my boss and I had time to suss each other out. So, I mean, I've repaired a lot of stuff already in my, I've been there 3 weeks maybe. But yeah, I'm not going to start like doing repair videos like Tronics Fix or whatever would do. Not yet. Moving forward in good faith first, and then we're going to go from there. So just to give you guys a heads up. You're so impressed with Olama. One of those off-brands with faster processors like that Rock Pie. Yeah, Rock Pie is good. Orange Pie, how do you like it? It's very basic. It's okay. I wouldn't buy one today. Really, here's a hot take. I don't think I would buy any SBC right now. Unless it's on sale, like I got these ones on sale. I think right now, mini PCs are the way to go. They are like by far the best bang for the buck. You can get for $300 something that will run circles around, actually here. Okay, so this is US. Look at this. 5300U, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gig NVMe, 328. Here, even this, $260. 8 gigs of RAM, 256. Cleaning the bench? Yeah, I won't have time for that. I seem upbeat. I'm a little loopy. I didn't sleep very well. That could be it. But I mean, it is what it is. Intel stopped making Nooks, yeah. So here, look at this. $210 US, 3500U, 8 gigs RAM, 256 gig SSD. Watch this. Compare this with the best Raspberry Pi you can get in terms of compute per dollar. Those mini machines are, yeah, I don't think I would buy an SBC, especially because there are projects now, RP2040, GPIO, USB. There's like a bridge. Can you use RP2040 as a GPIO for PC. I remember there was a bridge. Good morning, Curtis. Mini machines are very cool. Yeah. Use a yeah. If you have one in the drawer, it's fine. I don't think I would buy one. Yeah. Good. So you've got like double, or not double, you get like 30% more? So there, the $200 mini PC is 40 to 55% faster. Plus it runs like full fat Linux. Plus it has an SSD case, power supply, operating system. All right, so I'm gonna ask it, isn't there a way to have RP2040 connected to the mini PC and have software essentially act as a GPIO bridge to electronics? Yeah, pies are definitely not. Yes, definitely get coffee. So I think at this point, it's really mini PCs. And when they go on sale, like they go on massive sales, look at this. For, what's that, $50 more, you double the RAM. Yes, there we go. What's it called? The brain, the bridge, the muscle. Get out of here. MicroPython and PySerial or whatever. Yeah. So this is it. Nothing has good value. I think I disagree with you. I really like the AliExpress mini PC deals. Oh yeah, and the other thing is I bought a tablet. I bought an S10 Lite with a keyboard case. So I'm gonna be able to remote into my computer here, and I still have that mini PC. So the plan is to use RustDesk. Have you guys ever heard of RustDesk? RustDesk. So RustDesk is like a remote access software. You do absolutely nothing. You install RustDesk on your target PC. You install RustDesk on your like connecting device, and I can use that tablet essentially to control my computer completely. So that's the plan. So I'll be able to work from home, from work. You don't know what to do with AI yet, just testing it out. There are so many good uses. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Curtis. I haven't worked on that at all, but you're right. this weekend. I'm off on Sunday, so let's see if we can figure out a time. Unless you want to do a morning. But yeah, that's the deal. I'll tell you, locally, so I have a RTX 5070 Ti. 5070 Ti. So I bought that because I do video rendering. Right? So like, I don't have the Prime, I have like an MSI. Like this. Excellent. And I am running a local LLM here. And essentially that local LLM is going to do all my tax filing this year. I built a software using Claude to like document, like put all my expenses and stuff in a single document for my YouTube channel. And this year, instead of me entering all the values, I mean, I could. Give me a second. So instead of me putting in all of the values manually, I'm going to feed it a folder of my screenshots. And then I'm going to get it to file all my stuff for me. I just pop this in there. Well, my everything is, I have to go through and tune everything, but this is it. I use LM Studio. Yeah, I actually still have my Claude subscription because from work I can listen to audiobooks and stuff. So I have Claude make me learning materials. All right, Curtis, have a good trip. So this is LM Studio. And yeah, you just load your model up here. And then you pop it in there. I don't know, this is like small. Here's Llama, 8 billion. I've been using Qwen a lot. Qwen has been great for local stuff. But here the VL, that's the vision model, and that's the one I'm gonna feed all my receipts into. So it's essentially gonna read my receipts, it's gonna classify them, it's going to do everything, and then all I have to do is double check instead of doing all the typing. So yeah, I'm not sure how come I can't load it right now. Let me check how much GPU. No, I have plenty of dedicated GPU, so it must be using my built-in GPU. Because I'm only using 1.4 gigs of my 16 gigs. No, MT. First of all, good morning, MT. No, I've not been doing exercise. I've been completely racked. Like, I've been dead. The new job is taking up a lot of my mental capacity. Hang on, my mom's It's on me. Free 99. My dad just texted me and said thanks for yesterday. Where was I? I don't know. The Raspberry Pi is about 4 tokens in its reading speed. The 5070, I think I got like 74 tokens a second or something. Oh, excuse me. This is a GPU I pulled out of an old system that I had laying around here. And I'm really sad that these things don't have any use anymore. This is a GTX 550 Ti, 550 Ti. And like, I'm sad because I've got this. What am I going to do with this? This is now e-waste. I think I might just make a shadow box for all my old GPUs. Let me go put this into storage. And then I think I know what we're doing today. I think we're working on my open robotics platform. Still not really sure on that name. What is this? Okay, this one's not e-waste. We got a 1060. Still not sure of the name, but I think I've got everything needed to do the prototyping. So we're going to do like the breadboard prototype of it. Ship it to you. Yeah, do you want to pay for shipping? If you'll genuinely use it, I will send it to you. Yeah, I'm aware of the heat wave in Europe. It's I've got European friends, and they don't have AC. So that's pretty shit for them. No, it works. The 550 Ti, it works. Oh, I think I just bricked this. No, there we go. So, no, it works. I've got two 550 Ti's, identical ones, because usually when I buy a GPU for me, I buy a GPU for my wife. Back then we used to game together, now we work. Linus, where do you live? Why can't I use it? I'd have absolutely no use for it. Here, let's ask Quen. If I make some sort of processing heavy project with the, what was it called again? RockPi 4 Plus. 4 Plus. Is there any use for connecting a GTX 550 Ti? I have one laying around doing nothing. Northernmost Sweden. Oh well, yeah. You have a heat pump, otherwise you would not be functional. Heat pumps are great. Plug it into it. Oh, yeah. I mean, A. Thompson, you just be aware. I live in Canada, So shipping might be very expensive, but if you're genuinely going to use it, I'll send it to you. You just have to pay for, shipping. Magnets in play. Time for me to do your real job. Very nice. I'm not telling you my postal code. Just check my my main channel's description, and I'm gonna ship it from my PO box. No. See? No. Yeah, hardware is ancient. I know. I'm aware. 2011. I think it's K1G 4L3. I don't remember. You'd have to go check. Not on this channel, main channel. Simple Electronics. So it says here that the 550 Ti will be massively outperformed by the RockPi's CPU. Ouch. Yikes. And how's it going, Mr. Odie? Is it Odie or Audi? So yeah, 550 Ti for retro gaming, multi-monitor displays, or recycled e-waste. OD, thank you. 1 gigabyte RAM, because it's the Ti model. You can't run LLMs on it though. No tensor cores. And no, you won't be able to quantize. All right, so this is essentially what we need to test. We need to make sure. So this is my designed input stage. On my Open Robotics project. If you guys want to know about the Open Robotics project, GitHub, Simple Electronics, Open Robotics platform. Here's the README. So, Open Robotics platform is a project that has the goal of simplifying the controlling of electromechanical and electronic components most commonly used in robotics and electronics projects. Can my AI write Altium? I mean, I'm not sure what you're asking. So, essentially, the ORP will allow users to set up simple input stages to accept a wide range of input types and voltages, and have them act upon wide ranges of output types and voltages. Furthermore, functionality will be expanded with simple, inexpensive add-on modules. So the goal of this is, if you are not an electronics person, you could, in principle, order one of these from me, let's just say. Or like maybe I'll partner with PCBWay or something. Order one of these from me. You'll have the board. You'll connect via Bluetooth or whatever. And then you set the input to be whatever you want, and you set the output to be whatever you want, and then you can like easily control electric motors, solenoids, whatever. So that is the goal. That's what we're doing. So I had to create a robust input stage, which I think I've done here. So we've got a 1N4148. I try to remember. the reason why specifically this one. No, 550 Ti. Geez, if it was a 1080 Ti, it's still worth quite a bit. I didn't forget, it's been on my mind. So look, I've done the input stage here. So I ordered these. I have these in stock. 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 So the goal here is diode will prevent reverse input protection, prevent reverse inputs from destroying the PC817. Then we've got a 1 watt 1K ohm resistor. This is KiCad A. Thompson. KiCad. Then I've got the PC817, which is the opto isolator. So the hardware will be optically isolated. And then I've got a RC filter for debouncing and weird stuff. And then I've got the 470 ohm quarter watt resistor to limit current through to the GPIO. And then that'll feed to this GPIO expander. So this, I think I've found out that this actually should be 1 page up. So this probably I'll put it on 1 page up, but we're going to test this configuration. So this is what we're doing right now. We're going to test this. So we'll build it up on breadboard, and then we'll test it. So essentially, we'll be able to feed it up to 48 volts, I think, is what I want it to. Is it 24 volts? I don't remember now. So I need to write notes, but it's all in VS Code. But I just want to test this. All right, so let's gather some components. So here are my 1 watt resistors. I think you can, because the diode on the opto is just an LED. It's an infrared LED, but it's an LED nonetheless. All right, so we've got brown, black, black. That's 1, 0, 0. Brown, which is 0. So sorry, 1, which is add a 0. So it'll be 1, 0, 0, 0, and then your tolerance band. So this is 1K. That'll be good. I didn't buy a lot of these, it seems. $20 pieces. That's going to be expensive in the bill of materials. If these are going to be... Oh yeah, I also bought some BAT54As. These are suppression diodes. And then here are those diodes. 1N4148. I think I saved all of the data sheets, but I don't want to go digging through my things. So 1N4148 data sheet. So here we go. Peak reverse voltage, 100 volts, tolerant, reverse voltage 75 volts. So pretty much what? You can totally break a lead by reversing it. There we go. Reverse voltage, 5 volts. That's all it can handle. Let's check the PC817. PC817 data sheet. There we go. Reverse voltage of 6 volts max. So yeah, I think you do need a reverse protection diode. I don't know why I went and I grabbed an LED when I could just show you this. So PC817 can absolutely be destroyed by reverse voltage. I mean, we can test it too. Peak forward current 1 amp, and then *1. Pulse width under 100 microseconds and duty ratio 0.001. Yeah, I don't think I'd put an amp through an opto isolator. So yeah, I think the diode will be well needed. Opto works at 1.5 volts, yeah, but that's why I have the, oh here, we can check here. Collector current, forward voltage, 1.2 to 1.4. So actually 1.4 is max. And then peak is 3 volts. So it's going to be sad that I won't be able to go very low. It won't be able to take like a 1 volt input. But then again, you could put a Darlington transistor on a very low input, or use like an amplified input if that's really necessary. So I might, oh here, I bought 20 more, that's good. Oh look, I bought HDMI connector to practice soldering on. Oh yeah, and I bought these BAT54s, 54S, BAT54S, 54S data sheet. Yeah, BAT54S here. There we go. It's the shunt over voltage to ground or whatever. Breakdown voltage, yeah, 30 volts. Okay, let's put this together. I'm going to pull up my diagram. So I have PC817s here for sure. Just going to grab a breadboard. And I have the UDP 3305S, so we can feed it up to like 30 volts, 60 volts, 60 volts, so we can check. We can check it. Transistor or MOSFET behind the opto. Well, it's going to, by behind you mean on the control side, or on sorry, on the switch side. On the switch side, it's going to a I/O expander, which is this one, MCP 23017, and I'm using these because essentially the diode will fry to protect the opto. The opto will fry to protect the input, and the this I/O expander will fry to protect the microcontroller. So the goal is that between everything, I should be able to save the microcontroller. And so the goal is to have the microcontroller socketed. No, I don't think I need a transistor to activate the ESP. I have a high impedance. I have a high impedance source here. Also, we're gonna have to put this on an adapter board. I think I've got, because for prototyping I'm gonna want a through-hole adapter, and I bought some, but they might be in the absolute chaos that is this workbench instead of where they should be. Let me check. Might be a good idea to solder that up. Also, while I was gone, did you guys know Oliver Tree died? Maybe you guys don't know who Oliver Tree is, but been listening to his music much more now that he's gone. Obviously, you don't appreciate anybody until they're gone. Is it this? No, that's much bigger. Depends what you want to control. I'm getting input into this, to the MCP 2317, and then that'll send via I2C to the ESP32S3. Really should have looked for this before, huh? So I swear they're somewhere over here. Somewhere they belong. I want to hear the sound of something real. I want to find someone who brought it all along. I'm going to get copyright stricken for my excellent rendition of Linkin Park. Don't you guys dare tell me my Linkin Park sucks. I was dead on. Chester, whatever his name is, Benningfield? Beddingfield? Chester. I need to hire someone to organize my shop while I'm gone, because this is chaos. Hey, I found the orange pie though. That's good. Where is the adapter? I knew it when I had the adapters out here. I knew that eventually I wouldn't be able to find them, and here's where we are. You didn't know it was Lincoln Park? Come on. Oops, I bumped you guys. Somewhere I Belong, that's what it's called. I think they may have used it for one of the Transformers movies. Is it maybe in here? Safe comment. You guys are never on my side. God. Obviously kidding. PC817s. Yeah. Gonna need these. I just need one. I'm gonna take one out. There we go. If I can't find those adapters, we're in big trouble in Little China. Also, I'll have you guys know my back still hurts. So I am quickly approaching the fact that I might need to speak to a doctor. Which I'm going to hate, because back pain is like one of the least diagnosable things in the whole frickin' world. And thanks to a bunch of clowns, healthcare in Ontario sucks. So we will see. We will see how that goes. We appreciated you when you were gone. Does that help? Nice tie-in. Very good. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. I appreciate you guys more than you guys know. Who knows, maybe my channel will take a nosedive because I'm not making videos, but whatever. Okay, well, the lack of adapter boards is concerning, just like your lack of faith is concerning, but at the same time, we need to get moving along. The only question is, what am I going to do? Because I need an adapter board to test. We could do flying wires. Flying wires, hidden tiger. Still looking. Can't really like narrate my search for you guys. Doesn't really work like that. Can't be like, oh, moving this piece of junk to look under this piece of junk. And there's another piece of junk in the way. Let's see. Celebrity die regularly, don't even notice anymore. At least we have proof they're not replaced by a space alien Would have solved the back issue, yeah. Rummaging, yeah, I'm sorry guys. I vow to fix my organization problem. Because sadly it's becoming more and more important now to be organized because I have less and less time in the shop. So I think my downtime should be spent organizing. Also, I need to clear this bench because a company has sent me something huge to take a look at. So, yeah. Seems like I cleaned like this area of my bench. And so it's logical that stuff would have got piled there. Okay, the show must go on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause for coffee, because it's never not time for coffee. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up stuff, solder wires to it, and just do it like dead bug style. I don't see another way. So we'll do it and then we'll go from there. I have been a little spoiled, I must say, because I often end up making circuit boards out of, like I make PCBs for my projects without prototyping first. And so I just get to prototype on the PCB, which has been like enormous privilege. Okay, so please tell us no, it's not a dog litter box. It weighs, no joke, it weighs 75 pounds. And with my bad back, I had to get the guy at the P.O. box to help me move it. And then I also had to, I have like a hand truck, a dolly, to move my outboard in and out of the house. I had to go get that, bring it outside, drop it from the car onto the dolly, and then bring it inside like that. It was a little bit of a nightmare. And it's not even in the workshop yet. It's resting in the living room right now because there's no practical way of getting it downstairs. So, needless to say, it's taking up a lot of space. But it's nice. It's a nice device. I haven't thought of a unique angle for it yet. Well, I have thought of one unique angle, but I will require purchasing like a $400 object. But anyways, I'm gonna go get coffee. Oh, did I get a Discord message? What is going on? Okay, anyways, I'm gonna put on something to keep you guys occupied while I go get coffee. I encourage you guys to go get coffee too. Coffee is love, coffee is life. How's it going? Drove and make sure it's not, yeah, no, I'm sure. Don't worry about that. How's it going, Johnny? You're just here in time for a coffee break. Have fika. Oh, that'd be cool. I can put on today's stream. Here we go. Hey everyone, you're listening to the Simple Electronics. I'm your host, Dan from the Simple Electronics YouTube channel. This episode is brought to you by PCBWay. More about them a little bit later on. Just a fair warning, I am as sick as a dog, and this just shows my dedication to you. And I want to thank Another Maker for being on here with me so we can do our end of the year wrap up. How are you, Another Maker?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad you're great because today I'm feeling a bit better, but yesterday I was not doing well at all.
Yeah, you don't sound great.
No, well, I may have like the radio voice, not sure, but we're going with it.
Cool. You've got the radio voice. I've got the radio face. We're all set.
Oh, come on. So yeah, I probably got the human malware from visiting the wife's family in Northern Ontario. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, fellowshipping with people is just overrated.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so I want to get the big stuff out of the way because I don't know how long I'm going to last. So first things first, do you want to know what we promised to work on this year?
I do. It's been killing me. I can't remember what it is.
All right, so for me, I still had to do a Node-RED project. That was still like, that's a carryover from like years ago now. 12 tutorial videos with an article. Also have to do that. And then the last thing is try to make my channel more important. Try to just overall feel more important. And I think on that one I actually succeeded because, you know, I had Unity reach out and send a whole bunch of gear. I experimented with a couple new video types, one of which being the AI video, which we can chat about a little bit later. And so, yeah, I would say 1 out of 3, I have succeeded.
And I would say, I mean, you can't leave out the podcast. I mean, not me, but you've had some other really good guests, and I've really enjoyed listening to them, and I think that adds importance to your channel as well. So I agree. You got that one.
Sweet. Now, for you, you've actually completed 2 out of 3 coming into this year. So,
Okay.
learning a new code type and making a project, you've already done this. Taking an average of 1 day off a week. You did this last year. I don't know if that still counts for this year, though.
I did do that this year.
There we go. And the big one for this year is you wanted to end the year physically and mentally healthier. So you wanted to work out more, walk more, stand more, sort of spend less time at the computer. Did you, Another Maker, achieve this?
I would say about half and half. I definitely worked less, which I would say that most of my physical, issues have come from just the sheer number of hours that I've worked every year. Basically, every year my business doubled from year over year since I started the company, and I intentionally took a step back. I cut out one of my decent sized clients and everything, so I worked about 30% less. So I would say from a stress level perspective, yes. Working out, I would say I worked out more this year than last year. Not as much as I want to, especially the long distance riding and things like that. But I would say yes. I'm not trying to be too easy on myself, but I would say yes overall.
There we go. And so it's good news that you've actually got that accomplished because we forgot to set a sort of like a punishment for our bet. We didn't actually decide what we were going to do. And so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to donate. So last year I donated, I was on the hook to donate $100 to the food bank in Ottawa here. And then you said you would donate as well. I ended up donating $200 because $100 Canadian to American. I didn't want to do the conversion, so I just donated $200. So I think today I'm going to donate another $200 to the
Nice.
food bank because I don't believe anybody should go hungry. That's just my opinion.
I'll match you on that also. I'll do to the I've kind of become fond of a charity up there in Brampton, Ontario. So I will do same thing, the school lunch program up there in Brampton, Ontario.
So same one as last year then.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, Ottawa Food Bank and Brampton, Ontario Food Bank. You guys are getting. Well, I'm gonna send $200 Canadian. So feel free to do the conversion on that if you need to. What's that, like $100 American?
I don't know, somewhere in that range. We'll make sure it happens though.
So okay, that's out of the way. Do you have anything for this year? Do you feel like
Ooh.
you need to do something this year? And I can go first, if you want, if you need to think about it.
Sure.
All right. So the number one thing for me is I want to try to structure my YouTube channel a little bit. There's often times where I'm sort of sitting at my workspace down here, and I've got work to do because, like, when you're self-employed, the work is never over. Like, there's no like finished, right? As
Right.
soon as you finish a video, you're on to the next one. So I think I want to do something like where I purposely take one day off per week of YouTube and work, like just taking
Okay.
time off, but also possibly book in one day of a week of just working on YouTube. All I have to do is progress my YouTube for that one day, and then I would consider that a success. So those two things. So try to step back a little bit, and hopefully that means that I get more stuff done. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Seems fair.
So I'm not necessarily lowering the amount of hours. I'm just structuring it more, so I don't end up sort of procrastinating until I have a mental crash, essentially.
All right.
So that would be mine this year. And again, I'll put up $200 for the food bank if I don't make it.
All right. I will I'll do another health one, except I'll be more specific. I want to get back to the point where I can do and actually do, and I'm going to really try for 100, but I'm going to do an 80-mile bike ride in one day, obviously, this year. I think my record's like 112 in a day or something like that, 118 in a day, but I'm not there right now, but I'd like to do an 80-mile bike ride sometime before the end of the year.
Now, give me an idea how long an 80-mile bike ride lasts. Like, what's your average speed? And are you going to be doing this in hot, humid Florida?
It depends on the day. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing Florida, I'm guessing, but I'm guessing 5 to 6 hours. It depends on the day how you're feeling. I mean, I can do.
I'm back. Guess who's back? Back on the block. Because the streets is all I know. God, that was great era of rap. Too bad most artists from the early 2000s have been completely found out to be complete creeps, although it doesn't surprise me. It's just unfortunate. Oh, you guys can't see. There we go. I did look a little bit. Oh, that looks weird from this angle. I did look a little bit for my stuff while I was gone. Still can't find it. I don't know where it went. I swear I had them. They are here somewhere. Oh, also, I was doing some work on my wife's old computer, the one before this update. That's the one that had the 550 Ti in it. It was like a spare, a secondary computer. And it turns out I found those stupid Wi-Fi cards I was looking for like 2 months ago. What kind of an idiot? Anyways, my organization skills. It's crazy. At work, I am like incredibly organized. At home, I can't be bothered. But I think what happened is I was okay, and then I hit like critical mass, and now I'm very much not okay. There's way too much stuff to keep track of now. So It is what it is. All right, let's see what I've missed. So, no, didn't open it. Johnny here, video is on the background. Yeah, that's fine, Gerald. How's the hydro project going? Hydro. Oh, I haven't talked to PCBWay for like 6 months, so I need to talk to them and see if I'm still allowed to make PCBWay videos. So, yeah. With the clean coffee cup, will it still provide? I don't know. That's a good question. At work, you're paid. Yes, that is true. I am paid to be organized. But this is my resume builder. So maybe I shouldn't display the fact that I don't have good organization. Another interesting fact, a lot of the jobs I have applied to are closing. Like, I applied to literally 40 jobs. A lot of them are closing soon, which means they're going to start reaching out to applicants. I don't want to count my chickens before they even become eggs. But what happens if I get like another job offer? That would be an interesting scenario to be in a world where unemployment is high and nobody can get jobs for whatever reason. If I have multiple job offers, especially after being at this job for 3 weeks now, it will be interesting to navigate. But like, a lot of those jobs are much higher paying. I guess we'll see. We'll have to see how we're going to deal with whatever we need to deal with as it comes up. It's not a problem now. All right, I think I've figured out that I can't find it, so we will move on. Need a mini bulldozer. Yeah. Professor Boots has a mini bulldozer, which I would really like to print. Oh, that's another thing. If I'm able to control my computer from work, which I will be, I'll be able to start 3D prints from work, which is nice. Like, I could CAD something in FreeCAD on my lunch and then send it right to the printer, and then when I get home, it'll be printed. So that's another benefit of being able to work remotely on my lunch or whatever. I also am one of those guys who are serially early. So like, let's say my start time is 7 in the morning. I'll probably be there at like 6:15. I'm that kind of guy. And so it's going to be nice to just pop open my new tablet, remote into my home computer, do a little bit of work. Like I could do some programming, I can do some whatever. And then like 10:02, then I can turn off and, you know, get to work. All right, so diode. Very close to retiring. Been getting job offers in the last few weeks. Send them my way, please. Especially the high earning ones. I had to attend another funeral recently. Kind of sick and tired of going to funerals. And I found out a lot of my extended family members, they work all at the same place. I'm like, can you get me a job? I'd love to work there. What am I doing? So yes, diode pin 1 and 2. So that's pin 1. So diode 2 pin 1. There we go. And pin 2, this is a ground. Then pin 4 is the 3.3 volt logic. Maybe I should stick some wires in there so I keep track of what's going on. How's that sound? Let's get some wires. Breadboarding. There we go. Okay, so input will have a color. Sure, brown. So here's my input. And then input ground needs a color. So should probably be black or gray. So this is input ground. Okay, gray. And then my 3.3 volt logic should have a color. Let's say red. Like so. And then I need a ground logic. So that should be gray. Need a male-to-male gray. Male-to-male gray. Good. Logic ground, but that needs to go through... Oh, this diode doesn't even go here. You bastard. So that the diode does... yeah, it can go there, but that's not how my diagram works. So we need to put in our 1K ohm resistor. So 1K to here. Get in there. And then the diode in series. And then my input. Okay, so input through the diode, through the 1K ohm, and to ground. Actually, I can actually just use this rail for that. Then 3.3 volt logic goes directly to pin 4. That's okay. Now we need a 470 ohm quarter watt. Definitely have that laying around here. 470 ohm, that's 1K, 470 ohm, quarter watt. Do I have any Lucy's? I do have one Lucy right here. I'm a little afraid, since I'm on you demolished the chimney conduit that was already broken 2 days ago, so you gained some space in the kitchen. Very nice. So I have some concerns, and I think it's related to why you're getting job offers when you're close to in North America, I don't know how anywhere else. This is just North America. I need a GPIO wire. This is white GPIO. Just North America. I don't know about anybody else. It's none of my business. It seems like in North America, literacy rates have fallen to low levels. About 5 years ago, there were reports, credible ones, mind you. I'm looking for 10K, 1K, 10 meg, that a lot of the crop of like university level students, like freshmen in university, they had never read an entire book cover to cover. Never. Not as part of their schooling, just never. And now there are reports that literacy rates are incredibly low. And so if your new graduates, if you're like your hiring pool has a really low literacy rate, why would you want to take a risk in hiring someone who may be functionally illiterate compared to a senior, someone that has experience already, and you can be pretty sure they can read? Retirement does exist in the US. It's disappearing. Same thing in Canada. It is definitely disappearing, but it still exists for the moment. R12, 10K quarter watt to logic ground. And that goes right from pin 3 to ground. And then we just need a 100 nano. So yeah, don't need a ground specifically. We're going to use this ground. We're going to use this power as well. So this is 3.3 on this side. So this is our GPIO out, or in, I guess. Out from this, but in general. Okay, so I'm going to use some wires here to feed in this and ground. And then we'll use a DMM, I think, to read if we get a clean input here. And then we're going to dead bug our MCPs. Designed this way because educated people are more complicated to control. I mean, there is that. There is that, but I mean, it just popped up. London, Kentucky electronic assembler / tester. Yeah. Those are the kinds of jobs I've been applying to here. So Ottawa is a tech hub for Canada. One of the couple of tech hubs Canada has. So in the west end of town, in a place called Kanata, Kanata, there's like a tech sector, and it's not far from the. If you guys are hockey fans, probably not, because most of you are not Canadian. Some of you are. Where the Ottawa Senators play. We build some really cool shit. Like, really cool. So I've been applying to those kinds of jobs. Not at $42 an hour, though. Actually, some of them are actually. Because I keep thinking in the trades, a week is 44 hours of work, but in tech, it's more like 37 hours. So yeah, probably. Actually, no, it's not that much. I'll tell you because that's 42 American dollars per hour. Some of the jobs are in the 40s Canadian dollars per hour. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to do. Okay, so we're going to use a DMM here. And we're going to hook to ground. When you want to pay people less and less, it works better, yeah. But I mean, eventually enough is enough because North America, but specifically the US, is a consumer economy where if there's not much consumption, there's not much going on in the economy. And there are some severe signs right now, bad ones, very bad ones, that consumers have got to the end of their rope. They don't have any more money to consume with. And so there are some thoughts that the US and Canada are in recession already. But there's a lot of being hush-hush about it from the officials, especially in the US, to not admit. Because once you admit that we're in a recession, those not spending behaviors become worse. Let's see, 24, enter, there we go. Those behaviors of not spending become worse because then there's official like news cycle to save your money, and then people stop spending, and then that makes the economy crash. So it's the situation's a little tenuous, I will say, at the moment. And it's not about to get better. Let's put it that way. Let's check the MCP 23017 for the high threshold. No, the 1% don't consume enough. There's no way. Because they consume on like stupid shit like yachts. Let me answer something real quick. Just typing something. Da, 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 da. All right. What was I doing? Yes. MCP, whatever. MCP. You'd be surprised how little income you need these days to make it to the upper 10 percentile. Let's just, oh no, we're here. How much yearly income do you need? This is more a question for AI. How much yearly income would you need to be in the top 50%, 25%, 10%, 5%, and 1% of Americans, of Canadians? Break it down, please. All right, so MCP, where was I? MCP 23017. MCP 23017. Data sheet. What happened here? There we go. Input. So 0.25 times VDD plus 0.8. So a quarter of VDD. So let's go 3.3 times 0.25 plus 0.8. So 1.625 volts is what we're aiming for. Come on, Quen. I love Quen. You get a lot of usage for free, but it's slow as shit. Come on, Quen. Anyways, we're looking for 1.6 volts. So let's set this up while Quen does its work. So that's good. Oh, no, I don't want that in series. There we go, voltage set. We're gonna try 5 volts. And we're gonna set a current limit of 0.5. Let's not burn anything. I don't think we're gonna burn anything. Okay, alligator clips. Also, apologize if this is unwatchable because I'm scatterbrained. Not only have I not streamed for a while, but I have not slept well last night. Our AC died like 2 weeks ago, and yesterday was like day 1 of a heat wave. Not like the European heat wave, don't get me wrong. You Europeans got hit really hard, but it makes it uncomfortable to sleep at night. So we got a little, like a portable unit AC that like sits on the floor but hooks up to the window. And it's loud as shit. And it cycles on and off, so it wasn't great sleep. Also, I don't have any alligator clips. Why? Because not because I'm disorganized, of course not. It would never be that. So here's one to the positive, and you guys can see this. For what I know, you can input the same voltage as the VCC. Well, it looked like it was VDD times 0.5 plus 0.8. That's what the data sheet said. We're gonna try that. We're gonna go from there. Ground. I can flip this. Take this out. Just making everything fall. Take this out. Okay, and hook this up to ground. Oh, we're missing a cap. We need a cap. I forgot. A 100 nano. No, it's not the window shaker. It sits on the ground. Okay, hang on. We gotta check out what AI said. All right, determine income, individual income, single person rather than household. All right. So, in the U.S., if you make 50 grand a year, this is noisy. Place your furnace AC last year of your company's contacts. Wow, you did a good job, under 5K. So if you make $88,000 a year, you earn more than 75% of individuals. Yeah, floor shaker, exactly. If you make $150,000 a year, US, you earn more than 90%. Top 5% is 200,000. Top 1% is only $500,000 a year. There are software developers that have to go to work every single day are in the top 1%. So it tells you how crazy, when you're a billionaire, you're in the top like 0.0001. In Canada, about 50,000. So it's like close, but this is Canadian, so it's 40% less, 35% less. Top 25%, this is very close. They're the same numbers, except it's 30% less. Top 5%, if you make $162,000 Canadian a year, and then top 1% if you make 300,000, it's far lower. So yeah, there we go for percentages. What were we doing? Don't remember, don't care. Let's take a look here. So we have 0. All right, and let's try putting, I'm going to try putting voltage. I'm going to start at 0 volts and work my way up. So channel 1 on. Okay, so here is 1 volt. Nothing. Here is 2 volts. Nothing. 3 volts. Nothing. 4 volts. Nothing. Oh yeah, a cap, I forgot, whatever. It's okay. 5 volts. Nothing. 6. 7. 8, 9, 10. Okay, something is wrong here. Something is wrong. Oh, I have no voltage coming on here. Okay, we need channel 2. We need a second channel. Splah. Good thing this thing has 2 channels. Like that. Okay, channel 2. Let's go volts 3.3. Enter, and then current we're going to set to 1/4 amp. Okay, and now these will have to connect somehow. I don't have any alligator clips. What am I going to do? Oh, I see one alligator clip. There we go. For Europe, you'd have to ask country by country. Yeah, you have them, just can't find them. Shh. Shh. Don't let the potential employers hear you say that. Okay, and then we are powering from here. Okay, turn on channel 2. Oh, multiple channels. How novel. Okay, go back to channel 1. At the voltage. All right. So we have 1 volt in. We're getting nothing out. 2. Okay. So we have a logic high at 2 volts. Let's crank this down. Okay, so our lower limit is 1.8. Here, let me crank up a little bit. Looking for 1.65. So in principle, 1.88 volts gives us a logic high. We're going to test with the MCP. I always said I don't remember who said this, but a clean workbench is an empty mind. Okay, testing the input circuit. Trying to reach an output threshold of 1.65 volts. Input at 1.8 1.880 volts. So 1.88 volts gives me a logic high. Good. Keeping those notes. Okay, so let's crank this up to 2 volts even. That's 2 volts. Okay, 3, 4. So it looks like around around 3 volts I get full conduction. Is this getting hot? No. But we are at 1 milliamp and 3 milliwatts right now. 3 volts on input. Outputs the full 3.2 volts. 0.001 amps, 0.003 watts. Okay. A pristine workbench might represent blank slate ready for inspiration, while a heavily used reflects a busy, wandering mind. Possibly, yeah. Okay, so now let's crank the voltage up. So 12 volts, we're at, or here, let's go 5 volts, we're at 0.03 amps. So this is good. I'll just make this more visual for you guys while we do this. I will get the thermal camera ready. 5 volt on input is 0.003 amps, and then 0.015 watts. My enter key is getting all shit. And I'm going to grab the temperature of the resistor and diode combo here. While I drink my coffee. I mean, it's always helpful. I like to hear other people's perspectives. That's one of the coolest things about YouTube, is that I don't have to make stuff by myself in my shop. I can share it with everyone. All right, so 29 degrees on that resistor. Yeah, barely warm. 29C on resistor. Actually, I'll take a photo too. Okay, let's crank it up to 12 volts. Another kind of standard metric. The 4-pin header. Oh yeah, I see it there. 12 volts on input. Gives us 0.01 amps. 0.01 amps. 0.120 watts. So 120 milliwatts and 10 milliamps. And we're going to let that cook a little bit. We'll grab the resistor temp, but it is getting hotter. It is 40, like 41. I think it's good. 41.8 C. Uh, 48.1 C on resistor. Okay, let's go up to 24 volts, I guess. what else? There's no logical steps, right? 24 volts. So 24 volts, now we're at 0.22. Input 0.022 amps. Now we're at half a watt, 0.528. 528 watts. We'll let that cook a little bit. Starting to feel a little bit of heat radiating. Where are we at? So 84, 85. I'm gonna let that cook for a little bit. Let's check on Mouser. We might go up to a 5 watt, but I mean, it's gonna be expensive. Mouser.com. 1K ohm 1 watt resistor. Not going to pay $12 each. Here, 10 cents. 5%. Let's go 1% if possible. Through hole 1%, 20 cents each. That's reasonable. So the reason is because I want to check the data sheet. I want to see the maximum allowable temperature. Could go up to 155 C. We're going to check another one. That's 5%. Sure, let's check it anyways. 20 cents a pop. $155C. So we should be okay. So we're at 105. I think 24 volts is kind of the maximum. We may want to try this again with a 1.5K or a 2K. So 105. That's quite a bit, and our output is still working. However, we are pumping 22 milliamps through both our diode and our resistor and our optocoupler. So 5C resistor seems to be good to 155C, but would burn to the touch. Temp. Let's see if our optocoupler peak forward. Should be here, right? Well, they want 20 milliamps. A 50 milliamps absolute. Okay. Temp. PC 817. Absolute maximum current of 50 out is well respected. Then our diode. Continuous current 300. Yeah, we're good. 1N4148 and 4148. Continuous maximum current of, what is it, 300 milliamps? 300 milliamps. Amps, well respected. So I think we're okay. Note to test 2K R to drop the temp input resistor, especially if is in touch range. What is the maximum temperature that is safe to the touch for under 30 seconds? Range, we'd like to aim for under 45C, for 45C or under, as per NASA standards. You added a motor to the roller shutter. Didn't really use it because of the heat wave. Nice. Yeah, we'll go about 45C. Yep. Good. I'm going to transcribe all of this into my file that gets uploaded to GitHub. Let's see if we're still at the same temperature-ish. I like 106, 107. Let's go 107. It's definitely radiating heat. Like if I touch it now, it's going to be hot. Like 107 is like cleanly in the do not touch range. The diode is cool. The PC817 is cool. It's just it's literally just the resistor. But yeah, 100 degrees is way too hot. If it's like somewhere where it won't be touched, then that's a different story. Good, we can turn this off. Oh, the meter went to sleep. Nice. Very good. Very, very good. Now, the only thing is to check whether or not the I/O expander will work. I mean, it should. What's going on there? But the question is now we need to breadboard the I/O expander, which I'm more than slightly ticked off at myself because I don't have a good way to adapt it. Oh, also, my 2N2907s, I knocked this thing off my bench, and the 2N2907s are now part of the carpet. So that's kind of pissed off. So do you have to do the test for every component? Because this looks like this will take some time. Okay, let me level something at you. I am aiming in the next couple years to get an engineering type job without having an engineering degree. So all of this effort is in service of that. I want to show that I can do systems thinking. I am not using AI to help, like on the design steps or anything like that. On the testing, on all, I'm not using AI because I specifically want to show that I have the ability to build a system from zero to finished, polished product. And instead of having like the mentality of like design it and then tune it, I want to show them that I'm able to reason my way through and prove all of my thinking. Essentially, all of the thinking that I do in the background, I want to document it as well as I can to be able to show companies that I am worth, you know, hiring at $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, 500, whatever. I'm just trying to prove my worth to be hired, essentially. And this is something the new boss man, I told him my ambitions and he understands. So the thing is, one way or another, I am getting a high salaried position. And that's the deal. So he can, when I get that offer, he can match it or whatever. Anyways, he's well aware that I am on track in the next couple years. I think I gave myself 5 years. I think 5 years is fair. I want to get a high-paying job in the next 5 years. And this is just essentially me going through and documenting all of my thinking, having backup, like like having data to back up my thinking and logging everything. It's literally doing the engineering work. Oh, I'm not taking it as a critique at all. I am just explaining what this is for, why this is necessary, because usually I move fast, very quickly, and sometimes it bites me in the butt. But you have to imagine that I don't have, like, it's very low stakes what I do here. So I want to do something with higher stakes, and also I think this is a cool product that has merit, and perhaps it will be in production one day, and I'd like to be able to have the data to back up, you know, to back it up. So that's a couple things. And whether or not I'll profit off of it, that's a different story. This is, I mean, what the hell have I really profited on? Nothing. I don't. I do stuff, and then, you know, I hope to make stuff to make the world a better place. I don't usually make money off my endeavors, like beyond survival. Like I have no savings, I have no savings, no retirement, no nothing. So I'm just living. That's all I'm doing is living. So yeah, essentially that's the I'm glad you think it's interesting. It's going to be a challenge. Like, this part is easy. Like, designing an input stage, super easy, no problem. Designing the output stage, no problem. Probably going to be a MOSFET drive. Not an issue. The hard part will be the coding, which I am going to design the architecture. I'm going to do some of the coding, but I think Claude is going to be doing some more of the coding, more of the coding than I will. We'll see. I definitely want to understand my code. I want to build maintainable code. I want to write documentation. I'm going to do most of that. I'm going to try to get my like everything set up in a professional fashion, the way you would in a workplace. So there's going to be that. I'm going to document everything, and I hope that it'll be impressive. I hope that someone's impressed. I don't usually do things to impress people, so it's very different. This is very, very different. Okay, so here's a question. I've got a poll for you guys. Some of the measurements could be open to the community. What do you mean by that? Like, I think I agree. I just don't know. But anyways, I'm developing in plain sight too, so like you can just take what I'm doing and do it, right? So I have a poll for you guys. Start poll. Do I quit stream and look for adapter? Keep streaming but doing nonsense? I don't know. I don't know, man. All right. To receive a work call due to the holiday. Need a project on Tuesday. Is due next week. Guess you're doing plumbing, HVAC, and electrical today. I kind of like those. Maybe I'm crazy, but kind of like that crunch time. All right, answer the poll, folks. Very important. I know some of you are in the background doing stuff, but I just need you to come to the stream for a second, answer the poll, and then you can go back to doing your background stuff. See what you guys want to do. Because we can do like a cleaning up stream for the rest. The only thing is my back is a little bit painful, so I just have to be careful. I may have to sit down for a bit and do some stuff on the computer. It's not like throbbing or anything, so we've got a little bit. We just don't have forever, essentially. Put this away. It would be nice to have access to all this space again, though. Don't lose the little header. You need a break anyway. Measurements of the individual components, the maximum, minimum voltage, temperature. But you do need to have a public doc. I do. Yeah, so it's on GitHub. As I, like, when I finish the input stage, that is going to be uploaded to GitHub. When I finish the output stage, that's going to be uploaded to GitHub. When I finish the PCB, it's going to be like staged. Essentially, all of the stages are going to be available, but it's in that GitHub link that I linked earlier in the stream. So it's going to be all available. I'm going to put the images of the thermal images that I took. I'm going to put everything. Basically, everything's going to be in place. Welcome back, Gerald. I know you never really left, but I'm just saying. Okay, so like these banana plugs are connectors. I could put them in a connector pile. There's some more connectors here I should grab. There we go. I do have a connector box, which I have to sort through eventually, but right now let's put connectors with connectors. There we go. This is BNC to alligator clips that'll go up on my wall here. These are for the Finersi. Should work on editing that, but I will work on it, but not right now. So I'll put this with the Finersi. Still Finersi. Keep streaming but doing nonsense is winning. Let's see. So it looks like essentially is just keep streaming. Keep streaming, and I don't know, man. What is this from? Are they branded? They're not branded. They're not high quality either. Does the Finersi have a... Oh yeah, it's for the Finersi. Has a multimeter built in. So these come up like this. Oh, or they could be from this one. The Zoe. Did you guys see the video for the Zoe? I'm just wondering what you thought. Because the Zoe, sadly, is a good idea, but it's just not executed properly. Which is a little frustrating because, like, you were so close. If you just would have showed this to someone before manufacturing it, like, I know they're not looking for, like, they're not min-maxing their return or whatever, but, like, I'll tell you, this I'm probably never going to use again. I really don't know. I'll have to give it away to someone. I was also looking at tax implications for doing giveaways. So that don't hold your breath, but it might happen. I might just start doing like giveaways on the channel. I just think it might be a lot of coordination for not a lot of gain. You know, like a lot of effort. You have new antidepressants supposed to give you more energy. Don't know for now if it's effective or if it's placebo. You saw it, can't remember what it was. It's the DMM and component tester all in one. Got a lot of half-finished projects. This is just some random wire. So I don't know what to do with like these kinds of things. Like I've got stuff that's just like miscellaneous. And if I throw them all in a miscellaneous box, I end up with the problem I have now. Is that I have a lot of boxes that are just miscellaneous. See, like clearly this was from something, but they're nice because they're banana. Here's the other one. That goes together. I have a lot of PCBs kicking around too. This I have a space for USBs. Need a power supply for a couple yard sale flat screens. Amazon something. All connectors, reversing cable, has a display built in. No software update for the component tester? Not that I saw, no. And I tend to review things as delivered. Because, honestly, I hate the trend of release it now, fix it later. Like, for example, my fishing hole is up in kind of the middle of nowhere. And if I bring a tool there and I unbox it there and I want to use it there, which, I mean, shouldn't be odd, right? I want to use it there, so I unbox it there. And then the tool is shit, but all I need to do is do a software update. I think that's horrible. That's like really bad. It's not something I want to do. Like the Arduino Q. Yeah. The Arduino Q, I think has such a miss. Oh, some paperwork. Probably not good to have paperwork on stream. It's such a miss. Like, what have you done? Like, what? I can't believe you've done this. Freaking Arduino. You should have known. I think I think it's honestly nuts that they didn't see that coming, that they didn't see that that would be a problem. They didn't see that people wouldn't care for it. It's like, what were you thinking? Like, I could have told you that. I'm not an engineer. It's frustrating, huh, when companies have all these resources and then refuse to use them. And it's like you have a whole community that cares about the well-being of your company, which you don't have to pay for. And for whatever reason, you don't consult with them. Crazy. Oh yeah, I know. I got an email from Arduino. Like, not as a creator, as a just as a consumer. And they said, it's your last chance to buy the Arduino Q at the original price before it goes up in price. And I'm like, oh gee, yeah, let me jump right on that. No? Like, what were you thinking? Nobody cares. Like, really, nobody, like, actually, nobody cares about the Arduino Q, and they're not gonna care. Suppose the Q is good for something professional. But what, though? What can you do on a Q that you can't do with a Raspberry Pi in an RP2040? Like, aside from using their proprietary software, which I don't take as a positive thing, by the way. That's not like a draw. That's a bad thing. So there's not a lot that you can do with a Q that you can't do with a Raspberry Pi and an RP2040, but there's a ton that you can't do with it. Like, there's a ton that is just way better on Raspberry Pi. So I don't know, man. I didn't even buy one. I get, like, I can deduct it off my taxes, and I didn't buy one. I could have content with it. I could have made content with it, and I didn't buy one. I could have had, like, a return on my investment, and I didn't buy one. So what hope? Was this from the one-day challenge? I think so. So what hope does a regular consumer have of getting it if, like, someone who could potentially have gotten a return on their investment didn't buy it? That's bad. And trust me when I say I highly regret buying all the Arduino stuff when I did. Because I bought a lot of Arduino stuff. How's it going, Franco? How are you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm tired, but I think that's just my life now as a working stiff. There we go, complete. I'm looking for some adapter boards that I bought a while ago, and I don't know where they are. So I'm just sort of doing a clean, and we're complaining about Arduino Q. That's what we're doing. Maybe the adapters went into one of these like miscellaneous boxes I've got. I don't know. I don't know, but if I can't find them by the end of stream, I'll just order some new ones because I need them. Something's making a ticking noise when I touch my bench. Did you get the AC fixed at the end? My AC is broken. My AC is the old refrigerant, so it is not worth fixing. It'll have to be replaced, and that's going to be like probably around 10K, which I don't have, but that's okay. I will slowly earn that, I guess, over time. Since I'm a working stiff, this is prototype. It can go. This goes in the camera and adapters box. This stays with this. Yes, R22. Well, I appreciate you guys. I have the day off today. My my mechanics boss couldn't book any work in time, and he felt bad, and I was like, don't feel bad, I've been working like a freaking dog. So I was like, I'll take the day off, don't worry about that. But the eventual goal is to do weekday streams, but it won't be as long as these streams. It'll probably be like an hour or two. But it's just I need to work on making content for the YouTube channel, and also working on my personal projects and stuff. Oh, get off there. So yeah, I will do that during these streams. I probably won't be like 5 days a week, but it'll be a couple days. Is it really worth trying to recover this USB connector? No. Away it goes. Yeah, I'm at the new job. I do both, all of them. I'm still working as a mechanic one day a week, new job 5 days a week, and YouTube whenever I can fit it in. So life is chaotic, but like, you got to do what you got to do. These are connectors. I could throw them right into the connector bin. So I'm doing what I can. So because of the weird working hours, I can probably stream like for an hour or two in the mornings. That's the thought. Because even though I don't work at 6 in the morning, I am up at 6 in the morning. So I can come down to my workshop here and sort of like exist in this space and see if I can do anything productive before I have to go to work. So I'm guessing I can stream for a couple hours every morning, hour and a half type thing. But I'm gonna ease into it. I don't want to burn out because, first of all, I don't want to have shitty content for you guys. Like, obviously this is not peak content. These rubber bands have all perished. I bought rubber bands at the dollar store. Actually, it's not too bad. Okay, still good. So obviously this is not peak content for you guys today, but again, I'm easing my way into it. And we're gonna ease our way into some sort of schedule, because I still need to work on projects. I haven't been in contact with PCBWay for like months. Yeah, I'm already busy. The latest refrigerant in automotive is also very flammable. In automotive, it's R1234YF. It's very flammable, but it doesn't really matter because people have been replacing the non-flammable refrigerants in their cars with butane. So it's kind of the same, because butane is not a controlled refrigerant. So people will buy like alternative refrigerants. Shops will offer them as replacements. What's this? Oh yeah, okay, that's not needed anymore. I was hoping there'd be like alternative refrigerants for household, but I don't think that's a good idea. So anyways, we have an old R22 system from like 2005 or something. And that's what we're gonna have to replace. So my fear is that, oh, I have coin cells. My fear is that they're gonna come for the estimate on the AC and tell us that we need to replace our furnace as well. I have heard of furnace and air conditioner replacements hitting north of $20,000 Canadian. So we're gonna see, because don't forget, we also want, if we're paying for an upgrade, we would also want to get like efficiency upgrades. So it's not just, I want to pull these threaded inserts out. So it's not just buying the cheapest thing and surviving, because this is kind of like a thing that you do very rarely, right? You want to make sure you buy some good quality stuff. And also, like, good quality stuff will have an efficiency increase, which means it'll be cheaper to run, and there's lots of stuff like that. Personally use the R744 if that's possible, not really available. If you can clean the bench, we'll have more continuous stream. Well, I need to clean the bench. Like I said at the beginning, I have a very large object to make a video on. It's like huge. And the thing is, it won't be for a stream because there's like stuff that I need to do to test it that takes forever. And so it'll just have to run like all day. So that's going to be the goal, is to have the workbench cleared. I'll shoot the intro, run the test, explain the results of the test, and then run the other test, and then explain the results of the test. So I'll be able to do that while I'm at work or overnight. So just trying to be a little bit more efficient. And right now I'm just kind of catching up with you guys and doing some work. Oh God, I have so many videos to make. I'll just go through like some of my miscellaneous boxes. Maybe maybe I put them in there. I don't freaking know. Oh, CO2 for info. Yeah, so CO2 refrigerant is a very interesting concept. I love the idea. The problem with CO2 as a refrigerant is it requires an incredibly high pressure. So you need like very strong fittings, very strong thick pipes. But CO2 does indeed function as a refrigerant. It's also, aside from the high pressure, it is very environmentally friendly. Okay, so I've got like UPS in here, so I'll throw this in here too. So I'll deal with that when I deal with that. But no, I don't see my adapters in there. Just tried a model from Hugging Face. It was obliterated Gemma. It was wrong about everything. Yeah, the less RAM you use, the less context it can have. So those little models are very computationally cheap, but they're not very good. However, I don't think you need a full fat model for everything. Like a small model can do small controls. Like you can do automation tasks and stuff like that with a smaller model. Sorry if the audio is shit. I'm just trying to dig through my stuff. But yeah, I agree. Small models, like single board computers, are fun to mess around with, but they are in no way substitute for like even a shitty laptop is a decent has a decent performance, AI performance, compared to a single board computer. A single board computer is really just there for fun, because you can use a fairly old laptop and get good good results. CO2, it was interesting. Stephen King wrote the book Hatchet. Never heard of Hatchet. CO2 and ammonia are best environmentally. Very bad if you have a leak, yeah. Your Pixel 10 Pro XL, yeah. What app do you use for offline, for local AI? Because I did download one. It was interesting. It wasn't great. It was very slow. I don't remember what model I used, but to use a like, it was a Vision. It was a Vision model. Did I knock you guys? No, not too bad. Pocket Pal. Okay. It's not what I downloaded. What I downloaded was Pocket Pal. Sounds weird. What did I download? Off Grid. I thought it was Off Grid, but I didn't want to say the wrong thing. So yeah, it's called Off Grid, local LLM offline. Because I was looking at models to help me do my taxes, and I don't want my personal information going online. So offline models it was, and my local offline models actually work pretty well. I tried it on my laptop. I tried it on a mini PC. The mini PC is quite a bit slower than the laptop, but it does work, which is great. And stuff like my taxes, I don't care if it runs. Gotcha. Stuff like my taxes, I don't care if it takes it a week, right? I would just send it the data every quarter, and then you can work on it for a week. I don't care. You can work on it like overnight and then wait for the next overnight. Speed is not the issue. The issue is I don't want to do it. And that's the thing, right? People are like all doom and gloom about AI, but there are positive things. There are ways to make it do things that you just don't want to do. And classifying my expenses for taxation, that is something that AI definitely can do, and I just need to double check it. That's all. And double checking someone else's work is a lot faster. Like, I'm going to make myself a piece of software that double checks the work, or that, well, I'll use to double check the work, and then if it's wrong, I'll just hit a flag, and I'm going to have it feedback to say that this is wrong. Try again. And so literally it'll learn by reinforcement that it's wrong, and then it'll eventually get better. Should probably remove the So that's the goal. I mean, I've got patience. The amount of hours I spent last year, or well, this year, 2026, on doing 2025's taxes for the YouTube channel was insane. And now most of it is just going to be done via AI. It's going to do it. It's going to make some mistakes, but then we're going to fix them. And I guarantee you that I'll come out ahead. I guarantee you that I will be time positive for in 2027 for doing 2026's taxes. I will be time positive. And then in 2028, I'll be way ahead. Because it's the kind of thing you only got to do once. I set it up. I set up my software that you only have to do it once. So it's like, it's great. It wouldn't learn. I told. Yeah, no. There are ways to add your weights to the model. You can't tell it in the context window because it's just you have to have it you have to compile your information in a document and feed it to the model. You can also use what's it called, like pre-prompting. Like you add a database of information where you're like, oh, before you do this, check this file to make sure that what you're saying doesn't contradict this file. This is like a file with known facts on it, for example. And the other thing is the ecological concerns. No, Franco. The short answer is no. And the reason is all of tax software requires the user to classify to classify expenses. So I have to say, like, these pens, they were office expenses. But when the AI reads the receipt and it says, oh, it says whatever model, it knows that's a pen, and it knows that pens go into this category, and so it's going to do all that by itself. So it's going to, it's the coolest thing. So what it'll do is it looks at, so let's say you give it this, okay? Like this file, like I can look at it and I know what it is. These are some like engineering notes, right? But if you feed this into like a tax software, it can read the words, but it doesn't know what this means. It might see resistor and be like, okay, we can classify this. This is a receipt for resistors. The cost was $0.003 or whatever. So, but what AI can do is it can infer, it can be like, okay, this text in this context means it's, an engineer's notes or whatever. So that's what AI can do. So let's see if we can find image of a Walmart receipt. Okay, perfect. So here. So we're going to copy this, copy image. I'm going to log into Qwen. Login. Okay. I run a baking company in Ottawa, Ontario, and I need you to go through my receipts and extract. So this would be like this would be like your prompt. I need you to go through my receipts and extract date of purchase, time of purchase, vendor name, list of products, price paid per product, taxes paid, total receipt cost, what else? Okay, what category of my T2125 fits best? And I would like this written out as plain output. Okay, so that we can read it, you and I. Okay, but then also want it in JSON format so that it can be ingested by accounting software. Okay, so you would have this. You would send an image. You'd have like a Python script to send all of your images one at a time with this, and then you send it to the model. Like you would do this locally. So the model will look. See, already it knows Walmart. It knows it's Walmart. So the model would do all this, and then, oh, look how fast. Look at this. So it would spit out this. Yeah, okay. So it would spit out this, and then you would ingest this into a piece of software, and then you would double check. You know, I would double check it. I would have it show up on a split screen with the receipt on the left and then the output on the right. I'll just confirm that everything works, and then, you know, just hit the check mark. It's a lot faster. Okay, so here's what it found, and we can check this. So date of purchase, June 10th, 2021. Look how slow it takes me, how much time. There we go. So June 10th, yeah, because Americans have the backwards date and time. Okay. Okay, time of purchase, 17/13, whatever. Yeah, 17/13/27, good. Actually, you know what I can do? Give me a second. Like this, open in. Okay, so there. Okay. Vendor name, Walmart, yeah. 8520, look at how not clear the 8520 is, right? What did it get here? 8520 North Beach Street, Fort Worth, Texas. And then 76244. So that's good. Phone number, there's the phone number of the Walmart. Okay, and then eggs. Look at that. Eggs, you can't see. I bet you Dollars to Donuts OCR software, optical character recognition software, even high quality software, would not pick up eggs from this. You need an AI model to infer that at a Walmart, a product that is sold in quantities of 12 with you know, blank letter GGS must be eggs. And then it can even double check this number. So $1.27. So then Baker's Joy. I don't know what Baker's Joy is. Okay, and then it's $5.99. Good. US debit. Yep. Right there, US debit. Cost of goods sold. That's T2125, so supplies and ingredients. So it tells me I need to claim this on line 8510. But if I track it separately, it could fall under 8810 supplies, depending on how your books are structured. So it tells me. And then here is the JSON output. So this is machine parsable. So now your Python script can look at this. And then here's the cool part. You can take this image, you send it back through the model again as a brand new question, and you ask it to verify that this image matches this JSON. You ask it to check it. And if it's not sure, then it flags it. If it's sure, then it files it. So it will reduce, like having it go through once or twice or 3 times, it'll reduce the amount of falses, the amount of negatives you get. It is so powerful what you can do. And like with my GPU, I can do this very, very quickly, but I don't need to have it done quickly. Like I said, I can take screenshots of all my purchases and put them in a folder once a month and just have it run overnight on the mini PC. And it'll cost me like, I don't know, 50 cents of electricity. But how much is my time worth? In fact, okay, I'll go even further. I won't switch there. I can use the solar panels I already have here to charge a battery that I already have here and use the free energy to file my taxes. Isn't that what you ask? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You get the agent to do it like 3 times. And then I can just do a verification. It's super cool. So yeah, so my software that I had Claude make me will take this JSON format. So it'll essentially do all my taxes for me. So all I'll do is I'll go into AliExpress, screenshot all of my shit, and then with that information, my AI agent, fully offline, by the way, it will do all my taxes for me. All I have to do is double check everything. It's going to save me an inordinate amount of time. And I did a test run. It took, I think on my laptop, it took like 30 seconds to go through this. So last year I had something like 300 AliExpress purchases. Right, so like 300 times 30 seconds. So 9,000 seconds. So divided by 60. Take 150 minutes divided by 60. It would take 2.5 hours to do all of my purchases for the year. So my laptop uses like 45 watts or something at full chooch. So 2.5 hours of 45 watts. I'm going to be using, let's say it's 5 hours. So 5 times 45. So I'll be using, let's say 225. So 0.225 kilowatt hours. Price of electricity in Ontario, Canada. They sent you $1,600. Nice. So 14 cents per kilowatt hour. So let's go like 0.225. That's kilowatt hours times 0.141. It'll cost me 3 cents to do my taxes. This is why I'm not, here, yeah, on peak is 20 cents per kilowatt hours. Yeah, so let's go 20 cents. So 225. So it'll cost me, let's say, 5 cents to do my taxes. It's insane. And I can do it overnight when it's off peak. So I am not all doom and gloom about AI. I think there's some seriously negative things, 100%. But the fact that you can do this, and if you have like a paid subscription, you could probably do all of your taxes with a high-end model for like less than $100, which will probably have 0 errors, which is pretty crazy. It's cool stuff. I think that's the benefit of AI. This is what AI can do. It doesn't really replace workers. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I'm not so negative on AI, because there are things they can do locally. But anyways, I'm going to probably keep looking for my stuff. So I will take my leave, and I'll see you guys soon. I plan on, so today I don't work today, so I'm gonna work on YouTube stuff. But I plan on trying this on a work day. So it's going to be a brief stream. A lot of you sadly won't be able to be here, but you'll have the VOD. You'll be able to at least watch the VOD, and we'll go from there. So see you guys. I appreciate you folks for being here. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.